And you'll see, uh, this is part three of my part three. And you'll see that the Elohim are working through the moon angels, which are the angels of the I Am. And those angels are moving through people, through authors and through women, and through these memes that say, they give you a template and they teach you how to ask yourself and how to actualize your crown chakra by asking you to recite I am meditations or invocations. There's a real fight here for the angels to, or for you to wake up and actualize. And I would say that another physical expression of the Elohim are obviously the aliens. Now, I waited about 20 something minutes to get to this point, so I'm sure that within the first few minutes, the alien believers probably turned me off. They were like, oh, he thinks that the Elohim are angels and he doesn't know that they're aliens. I don't exclude. They're taking the form of aliens also. Not a lot of people know, unless they're hardcore researchers, that there was a broadcast hijacking in the 70s uh, in a British network in Britain or somewhere, where the Galactic Federation of Light contacted or hacked the broadcasting system and relayed a message from someone who was calling themselves Commander Vrillin. And he was speaking exactly to that notion that aliens want you to simply actualize, wake up to who you're becoming. This is deep esotericism, because if you sit with this realization that even the aliens are playing an archetypal role and are simply expressing or being expressed through by the Elohim, which are angelic forces, which are forces of mind, which, reside in higher realms, then you realize, like, wow, this is all a storyboard. This is all a storyboard. This, well, if you've ever played Smash Bros, and you've looked at like the book or like the cinematic opener where like they open the book and then you go into the story and the characters come out, it feels like that. It feels like you're standing at the book. You're no longer the player. You're not Kirby. You're not Yoshi. You're that faceless face behind, the book. And that's the position that a real astrologer tries to put themselves in. Many astrologers try to do it, but you have to be, actualized or initiated, as they say, to actually feel it there. And initiation simply means becoming conscious through feeling, becoming sensitive of these emotions and sensations and linking them to mind, knowing where they come from logically. If you think about it, the older you get, the duller your senses get. This is why occultists like Gareth Knight tell you, obviously through experience from being in these inner circles and these occult groups, that one of the fundamental things to do is to put yourself in nature, put yourself in your senses, and study what your senses tell you. When you hear the sound of cars with your eyes closed, study how it starts to sound like ocean waves. You know, and then you're starting to feel It's that exactly how a poet feels, which is why William Blake, one of the greatest poets, has such uh, Cancerian energy, lunar energy, because you're crossing the boundaries of sensation. And this happens to people incidentally. I forget what the word is called, but it's where your senses carry over and cross boundaries with each other. It's like it's like you smell colors. Occultists intentionally activate that in a way that's safe, that they aren't hindered by it, but that you could smell color. And anybody could do it. Somebody tells you the color to smell the color red. Well, what does a cherry smell like? It's as simple as that. Now, a cherry has other components, so you also have to cross-reference that to what does an apple smell like, and you pick out the the what is fundamental about the color red, and even if it's the iron in blood, you know what then you say, what does iron share? What does apple share? What does cherry share? This is occult training, because the idea is to bring your mind to the nature of what your heart is feeling in your sense, in these senses, these sensations. Uh, so that's that, and thank you and good night.